Okay, today I've been trying some different things with scanning following a request with some mixed results. So I'm going to go to scan. You can do the direct cut. If you scan to a direct cut, you need to have whatever you're scanning on a cutting mat because it will cut it straight away. You can scan to cut data on a scanning mat and save it, or you can scan to USB. Now I'm going to use the scanning mat, which I have for this machine. Now when I had the CM900, I didn't have a scanning mat. I just made one with a piece of white paper behind and a piece of acetate over, and that worked really well. So you don't necessarily need to go to the expense of buying a scanning mat. Okay, this is almost a vellum type paper. I'm going to go scan to cut data. At the moment, I've got it set for colour. My SDX 1000 only does 12 by 12 scanning. If you have an SDX 1200, it will do the 12 by 24, and the CM900 will also do 12 by 24. Okay, so let's try this in grayscale and just see how we go. So I'm going to press start. I'm going to zoom in so you can see the screen. Okay, so it's just recognizing it, and we'll see what the results look like. Now, it has scanned the whole mat. I have found with really busy patterns, if you leave it all there, it won't recognize the whole pattern. Now you've got some choices. This does the outline and keeps it together. This does an outline with a cutting margin, and this just does the shape. So I might try this one time. Now it's very, very faint, but let's see how we go with this one. Just take that flower there. We'll preview it. It doesn't look that good, but we'll press OK and see how we go. Now I'm going to save this to my machine. Okay, now let's retrieve it. So I'll go into the home, retrieve data, machine. Didn't look at the number, but it will be the last one, which is that one. It looks like all it's brought up is the little hearts. Hasn't brought up the flower at all. So that was on the grayscale. So let's go to the home again and try another scan. Scan to cut data, and this time we'll go to colour and see how we go. See if that gives us a better result. Okay, let's just frame that flower up there. Okay. Go this way. It looks like a better cut, so I'm just going to press OK. Again, I'm going to save it to my machine. Okay. Oh, pressed the wrong thing, didn't I? We've saved it to the machine, so now we'll press the home button. Okay, let's retrieve data. I've certainly got more on this one. Let's zoom in. There's still a few broken lines, but it's a much better cut. What I could then transfer that to canvas if I wanted to and play with it a bit. Now I've tried a few patterns scans today, so let's just go back to the home screen, retrieve data. truly with mixed results. So let's have a look. That. Zoom in. It's I actually found with this particular pattern, I'll show you the paper in a minute, but with this particular pattern, I'll just show you the paper. So there's the paper. It is a glitter paper, so it's a little bit hard to see, but it's given me very rough edges. Not happy with that one at all. I wouldn't use that one. So let's go back to the home screen and go to the retrieve data again. I did this one. Zoom in on that one. That's the same one. I did it twice to see if I could get better results. And this, I must admit, this result was a little clearer. And I could probably cut reasonably well from that. So that wasn't too bad, but that is a very stark contrast in the papers. Whoops. You press the wrong button, your mat comes out. Okay, let's go home again. Retrieve data again to our machine. Down. Did that one? Let's have a look at this one. Now this one was this pattern. There's a few colours in that. Again, there's a bit of glitter. So, you know, not overly easy. The scan is very rough. I could not cut direct from that. I would have to play with it some more. Okay, did another one. I might have deleted this one from my machine. This one. Okay, sure if this is the one I did or not. It is the one I did. And it brought me up practically nothing. That was this one. And I did think that might give it enough variety to change it. But now I'm going to try something different. Okay, I've loaded some stamped images that I've done onto my cutting mat. I'm going to do it on my cutting mat because I'm doing a direct cut. So I'm going to go home. I'm going to go scan, and I'm going to do direct cut. Remembering, if you're doing a direct cut, you need to have it on a cutting mat. It's in grayscale, which is fine because they're black images. So we'll just set off the scan. Okay, let's press OK. Now we'll just frame it up. I've left my stylus over on my desk. Oops, now it's taking out some of the... This is much easier to do with your stylus than your finger. No, not quite enough. I will have to get my stylus. Okay. As I said, much easier with your stylus. Okay, so I'm going to press preview. It's all okay, so I'm going to press OK. I still have a couple of little things there, so I'm going to go into the edit screen, and it's picked up one of them. I'm just going to put that in the bin. Okay, and this one up here in the bin. Okay, now there's one more just up here. Okay, now it looks okay. So I'm going to press OK. OK. I'm going to select cut. Check my settings, the half cuts off, which is my biggest failing. I always leave it on, and press start. And that's going to start cutting, so we'll come back momentarily. What I did think was I'd talk about while this is cutting. To improve your scans, you need crisp, clear outlines. Try black and white, try colour. If your pattern that you're trying to cut is not clear, try drawing around it, maybe even colouring it in black so that you just got a shape. If that doesn't work, you could try taking a photograph and tracing the image in canvas, or using something like Inkscape or Shortcuts a lot, or one of those sorts of programs to trace it if you're not happy with the trace in canvas. But that's just some of the things that you can do. Right, this is finished. So first of all, I'm going to lift the paper. Just restuff this mat so it's nice and sticky. Okay, you can see that there's very little black ink there, just a couple of little spots. All in all, it's turned out pretty well. So it's telling me that it'll shift the image if I unrelease my mat, but since I'm not cutting this one again, that's fine. Let's take off one of the birds. A little bit hard to see, but there he is, all cut. Round his feet. That's actually a very good cut. There's another little parrot. Excellent. So they could all be coloured and used on cards or whatever. You get a sticky mat, you get a sticky mat, that's all I can say. A little bit too sticky maybe. There we go. Well, I've just pulled off the stem, but I could still use that on a card. Just need to trim on the inner bits here because I did just do the outline, but it's done the outline perfectly. And the stem was there, I pulled it off. That's what you get for having a sticky mat. And I fear my little bird's feathers suffered a similar fate. So it has cut that very well. Now I'm just going to clean this mat up because in a minute, the gum leaves have come off separately because it was just too fine a pattern. The birds are all okay. So I'll colour those and use them on a card. Just want to show you this one. I bent his beak a little bit, fun. See, we can see how fine it's cut around his feet there. So you do get a good cut now. Let's see how we go with the wattle. Again, it's one of those stamps that could be a problem. Oops, and it is when you tear it when you take it off. However, I've got two little pieces there. My mat was way too sticky for this finer cardstock. That could certainly be used. Whoops. I could use that bit, no trouble. And I could use that little bit as well. I've just broken it as I've taken it off. Okay. Dear me, it's hard to do things when the world is watching you. Okay, just leaving that clean because I'm going to cut something else in a minute. Okay, let's just bring the machine back out here a bit. Press OK, take it home. Now, I'm going to use my scanning mat this time. So I will I'm going to insert that. Now, I've tried this a couple of ways. These are neither of these are great drawings, let me tell you. That one was a little too thin, didn't cut very well. So I've done one a bit thicker to see how that goes. So as I said, good clear outlines. Now this time I'm going to do ScanNcut data because I'm going to save this. It's a pattern I could use. I'm still set on grayscale, so that's fine. Okay, I'm just going to group it all together. Oh no, that's not what I want. Let's try this one because I want the insides to cut out as well. Actually, it looks pretty good. So let's click OK. I'm going to save it to my machine. Okay, it's telling me it's saved in the memory. I'm going to unload my scanning mat. Move that out of the way, and I'm going to load my cutting mat. Now, you can use, if you don't have to buy a scanning mat, you can use a cutting mat, just put a piece of white paper behind it, a bit of acetate over the top. And you want the white paper there so you don't get all the lines on your mat. That's very confusing, little bits of rubbish of course. Okay, now I'm going to press the home button. I'm going to retrieve the data from my machine. Okay, let's edit it. Right, first of all, I'm going to group it all. Let's just go back a minute. It's picked up a line here, so I'm going to delete that. Okay. Now I'm going to group it all, so I'm just going to select all, click OK, go into the object edit and group it. Okay, so it's all grouped now. So I'm just going to move that over to the edge of my paper. Now I'm going to save that to my machine. And it tells me I cannot ungroup it, but if I want to do it again, I want it grouped. And I'm going to override it. That way I've got it ready to cut next time. I don't have to group it and move it and do all the other things. Okay. So I'm going to press OK, I'm going to press cut, and I'm going to press start. Mind you, I'm cutting this in white paper. Probably if I was really wanting a leaf, I'd be cutting it in green, but so off it goes on its cutting. So this is just a hand-drawn image, nothing spectacular. And I need my I made my mat too sticky when I restuck it. So. Pieces. Hasn't gone complete to the edge. I might need to trim a couple of those, but I could now save that to canvas and just dress it up a little bit. But for a scanned hand-drawn image, it's pretty good. Okay, and there I've got a leaf which is now saved to my machine. I can cut it any time. Don't know that I would, but I could. And so it just points out that good, dark, clear images will scan well. It's when you get a lot of patterns and colours it gets a little more difficult. If it's something you downloaded off the internet and you want to scan it, try an image tracing on canvas and see how you go. There you go, scanning on the ScanNcut. Great for stamps.